Hi, I'm Ashley McCown. So we thought that GM's recall problems were in the rearview mirror until another recall was announced last week. This one for more than 3 million cars. It comes on the heels of a report that left many people unsatisfied with the findings and still wanting better answers. CEO Mary Barra has proclaimed that this must not happen again, and yet it did. So shifting the car into drive, here are my thoughts on how GM can get this crisis under control, restore their brand, and restore confidence in the safety of their vehicles. First, I think Barra has to go beyond just apologizing and taking responsibility. She did that the first time, she can do it again, but more is needed. She and her executive team have to get out on the road. They need to be visible, spending time with employees and dealers that are getting questions from customers, and they need to give specifics. There have to be answers in a way there simply have not been for the first recall. How did this one happen? What are you going to do to fix it? And what's the timeline going to be? And despite the drubbing she took in last week's congressional hearings, she needs to stay visible. She needs to be in the press. Maybe she'll find some more neutral territory, but she's got to be out there delivering her message and not back in the factory, so to speak. When you think about the messaging that people need to hear, there are a lot of audiences to communicate with. It starts inside the company with the employees, who probably are feeling pretty bruised and battered right now. You need to think about the dealers, the people on the front line dealing with customers every day who may or may not be walking through the front doors of their showrooms. They're going to get questions about the safety of the vehicles. How is it going to get fixed? What's the timeline? They need to be well prepared. And most importantly, Barra and her executive team need to be honest. It's not yet a new day at GM. They're making progress, but they're not there yet. And that honesty has to be part of the messaging going forward. So finally, in terms of how the crisis may impact GM's brand in the long run as well as future sales, here are a couple of thoughts. I think when the early recall happened, clearly there was a drop in stock price. During this most recent recall, just last week, Wall Street seemed to feel that there were strong fundamentals, good capital in hand, and a strong balance sheet. So far, the price is holding up. I think it's a little early to crystal ball in terms of the impact on sales, but I will say I think there's definitely a roadmap for GM to recover from this crisis and put it in the rearview mirror once and for all. Just ask Toyota.